It's so exciting. Oops, recording started. Anyway, great to see so many people. I haven't attended our Zoom, logged into one of these trainings. You have them what, once every month or 2 months or something. So I thought maybe I better find out what everybody else is being told that we're going to do before I have governor elected or governor to do it July 1st. But I'm really, really honored. I've been in Rotary about 37 years. I came in when the women were first allowed by the Supreme Court that men had to let us in. So the times they were a change, and okay, back in 1988, 87, 88. So things were different, but I've all throughout all the years found Rotary to be such a wonderful place that I could plug in and do things in my community that I wanted to, that our club did them, and I could participate or not as needed because I too was raising young children, and that during those years. So it was yes and no. And the other great thing is I learned that I could bring a project to Rotary that was my passion and my project, and that my club would say, yes, let us help you, let us take on and embrace that project, and we can do those things. And I see that over and over again in our club, how we start a project. We started reading to kids in kindergarten like 25 years ago, because I remember the guy that brought it to our club, and we still reading, and how many thousands and thousands of young children we've given books to. So I love Rotary for that. And then also the fact that my Rotary brothers and sisters are the people that support me through my ups and downs of life. They've become my friends, and 99.9% of all the people I've met in Rotary have been just wonderful people and good people to spend time with and do things with. So yes to Rotary and on all phases. And I look forward, I'm excited that you guys are spending your Saturday morning to be with Vincent and Naomi and they're wonderful, wonderful trainers. We're really blessed in this district, because I learned a lot of districts don't do this much training and stuff. So we have lots of training. So appreciate everybody's time spent here, and looking forward to tomorrow in July, and then coming year. Keep me posted on what you and your club want to do. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Nancy. So I'm gonna turn over to Naomi now, and she'll kind of get us rolling, and then we'll have a chance to chat and ask questions afterwards. I know some of you have been Rotarians for at least a little while, so we'd love to hear from everybody, regardless of whatever your situation is. So you just got yourself into a new family that hopefully it's going to last a long time.
Do we have somebody new that came on?
Yeah. Let's see what we have here.
No, that's me still.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Deanna she went dark a little bit. So
don't okay.
worry, we'll get you back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, Naomi.
Okay. We have a PowerPoint with a lot of information. We'll start with the history of Rotary. We'll go through some of the programs. It's a lot of information, but when you think about Rotary and you uncover all of the layers of this cake, there is so much to Rotary that you'll see that it's overwhelming. But what you need to do is take what is going to be interesting and valuable to you and make it an experience for you. So here we have a PowerPoint, lots of stuff on this PowerPoint, but I'm gonna start, and Benson, take it away.
Okay. We'll get going. Welcome to Rotary. Okay, so welcome to Rotary. It's District 5000. So this is kind of a primer to what Rotary is, who Rotary is, what they do, and then specifically around District 5000. And you might even see some members of your club in the slide as well. Okay. So Rotary's vision statement, it's pretty simple, is together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. So, Rotary is asking you to do a few things here, is to unite and to take action. So our kind of one of our taglines is that we're people of action, and we're able to do things and move quicker than governments, for example. So Rotary does quite a bit around the world and specifically in your communities. Okay. So our core values, integrity, diversity, service, leadership, and fellowship. We believe in exemplifying and embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, that's getting a lot of play these days. But Rotary was one of the first to basically adopt diversity, equity, and inclusion. And part of it is because, as you'll see when we get to the maps, Rotary is all over the world. It embraces, over 1 million people in 220 countries around the world. So when you have a organization of that width and breadth, then you're welcoming to everybody. And especially here in Hawaii, where our aloha spirit really dictates a lot of things. So that's our core values. So Rotary started in 1905, and Paul Harris, that guy at the end with the glasses, it was his idea to start Rotary. And basically his idea was that he wanted to create an organization that could do networking and will be able to have community connections. And then it was based on friendship and service. So Rotary got its name because those 4 gentlemen who started Rotary rotated the meeting from one office to another, and believe it or not, that's how Rotary got its name. Okay. So Rotary is an international service organization, like I was saying. It's in over 200 countries around the world, and if you haven't had a chance to go to an international convention, our international convention will be here in Honolulu in 2027. And I tell you, it is super massive when you're in Rotary and you're just kind of focused on what your club is doing. You're thinking, oh, Rotary is just these 20 or 30 people that I work with or see every week, and we do stuff in our community. But when you go and to someplace like Pets, and some of you guys were there last week in Los Angeles, that's president-elect training seminars, and you see the width and breadth of how big Rotary is. I mean, we had 800 people at our training last week, which is one of the largest training groups in the entire world. So it is massive, and it does give you the sense that Rotary is really worldwide, and we are doing things that are going to not only benefit us in our communities, but our state, our nation, and certainly our entire world. So, okay, so Rotary actually functions in 3 parts. There are the Rotary clubs, which is the base of everything, right? And these clubs are basically managed by our parent organization, which is Rotary International. And Rotary International is basically our administrative head of all of the stuff that happens Rotary around the world. And then there's the Rotary Foundation, and you'll see it basically abbreviated as the TRF, the Rotary Foundation. And that is basically our nonprofit side that helps us accumulate all the money that Rotarians donate and money that comes into Rotary, and disperses it around the world to do projects around the world. And Naomi will go over a little bit later the impact of that money that goes all over the planet to support things. I mean, things that in our kind of modern mechanized world we can't even really imagine, but just simple things like water, right? Like electricity, like power. So it's an incredible thing that Rotary does. Okay, so here's some stats on Rotary. 35,000 clubs. I think there's probably a little more now. We've got a little bit over, I think, 1.4 million Rotarians that are out there. 10,000 Rotaract clubs, and Rotaract clubs are basically young Rotarians, and Rotaract clubs were designed basically for young people and that start around college age. So the age grouping of Rotaractors is 18 to 35, and there are Rotaract clubs all over the world, 183,000 of those. We also have Interact clubs, and Interact clubs are Rotary clubs that function typically within high schools, And between 12 and 17 years old or 18 years old, you can be in an Interact club, and we have many of them here in the state of Hawaii. So that we are part of a 500,000 interactors all over the world. We're divided now into 535 districts, Hawaii, and they're all numbered, and Hawaii sits in District 26. There's 34 zones. We'll talk more about that. And we are in 220 countries, which actually I think is bigger than the United Nations. I think we have more countries in Rotary than we do in the United Nations. Did you want to say something, Nancy? Go ahead.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I was flown to Florida for a week with, see, it says 535 districts. That is the governor-elect like me, the person like me. I'm Hawaii District. We are all in Hawaii District 5,000. But there was 700 people, of which 535 of us were those district governor-elects from all over the world. So I'd go into a session for training because anyway, we go into these big sessions and all of this training, and we have to put on our headphone sets and plug in what language we want that speaker is from all over the world, just like the United Nations. I had to plug in English, and listen to the interpretation. So that's how huge Rotary is, and they function. And again, I understand they are bigger than the United Nations. And I want to say, I think we get more done than the United Nations for a lot less money. I'm sure our budget is a whole lot less, and we get more done. So I was really proud to see how massive, well, there you go. There's the map. We're really massive all over the world, and all the people were so great. It was really an experience. So thank you for letting me talk again.
Thanks, Nancy. And one of the reasons why we can get a lot of things accomplished is that Rotary is typically apolitical, so we're not a political organization, and we're typically a-religious, so we're not really a religious organization, although many clubs, open up their club meetings with a prayer or a patriotic song of some kind. But Rotary as an organization is apolitical and a-religious. Okay. Our current president right now is Stephanie Urchek. She is with the Rotary Club of McMurray, Pennsylvania, and she will serve as our president until June 30th of this year. So every year our leadership changes, our president changes, and they serve for a fiscal year, basically, which starts July 1 and goes to June 30th of the following year. And our next president is Mario. I forgot. He's from Italy, so hence the name Mario. So we're going to learn a little bit more about him later. And
Mario's from Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. I'm sorry.
That's what we had, all those Brazilian dancers. Come on.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And so this is last year at PETS 2024, and this is basically our group of president-elects. Now, some of our presidents are Hanaho presidents, which mean they're serving again. Many clubs are starting to move now to a 2-year term in their club presidency. Now, at some point, I think Naomi's supposed to take over, but not yet, right? Okay, so anyway. Oh, okay. Well, when she unmutes, and she can take over.
You want me to take it over? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. So usually, like, I do some and Naomi does some, and so we can go back and forth so you don't get tired of hearing one voice. Go ahead, Naomi.
Okay. So in Hawaii, the first Rotary Club was chartered in 1915, and they had 29 members. They were downtown, and today they are still in existence. And let's see, one of you is from that Honolulu club, right? Of a very large club. But in District 5,000, here are our stats. We have 1,400 Rotarians. We're in 49 clubs now, including 2 e-clubs. And e-club is one that meets online. We have 2 Rotaract clubs. Benson said they're the ones that are young professionals or college students. 41 interact clubs and 2 community core clubs. Community core clubs are people who are not Rotarians, but they're connected to a club because they want to do service projects. Our leadership in District 5000, right now, our district governor is Ted Fago from the Rotary Club of Puerto Beach. Then Nancy is coming up, Rotary Club of Hilo. Then Benson is our district governor nominee in the Rotary Club of South Hilo. We do have another district governor after Benson, that is Rich Proctor. So we've got our leadership lined up. So what do Rotarians do? Rotary people do? We're people of action, as Vincent said. And so we want to solve problems. We want to join leaders and really create a lasting change in our communities. So when you look at your members in your club, you're like-minded people because you want to take on a challenge. You want to be part of this organization that immunized 2.5 billion children against polio. That is our largest project right now, because polio can be eliminated from the face of the world. So Rotary has the foundation, which is our engine that provides the funding for all of our projects. So the Rotary Foundation was formed in 1917 by Arch Klum, who said, we need to do good in the world. And so his initial contribution was $26.50. I don't know how much that is in today's dollars, maybe $1 million, but it was to really transform millions of people around the world. And we are rated, nonprofits are rated by the Charity Navigator. And we are in the 16th year of having one of the highest rating. And it's because we take care of that money. We make sure that that money is used for the purpose it was given. And we take not much in overhead. So you can be assured when you give to the Rotary Foundation that that money is really being put to good use. So here's some stats on the grant money that we got. So just in the world, there were 485 grants at $30 million. So we got one grant for our district and we distributed it to the clubs to do their projects. There were 1.2 million or 1.2 thousand grants in global grants. And those are larger, longer term projects. That was 82 million. Disaster response grants like for Lahaina fire relief, 4 million. And then they started this thing called programs of scale grant. Those start at $2 million. And the reason why they did that was because they wanted to have a really strong impact. And so to do a really big impact, you need dollars, right? So the first one was to take care of malaria. And it started at 2 million. And then they had matching funds, donations. And so it became a $6 million grant for malaria. So all of the things that we do are centered in our areas of focus, and there are 7. So here you see 6 of them: promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, saving mothers and children, supporting education, and growing economies. So the things that we do are in these focus areas. Guess which one is the 7th one? Environment? Yeah, you're right. Okay, so the 7th area of focus was added a couple of years ago, and it was because Rotary saw that we were already spending a lot of money on the environment. So $18 million over like five years. And so it became our 7th area of focus. Besides the area of focus, we have avenues of service. Hey, Benson, you want to talk about avenues of service?
Sure. So avenues of service are basically the ways in which we can serve as Rotarians. And there are 5 of them. The first is club service, and it focuses on making our club strong. So within the club, there's lots of different functions that you can do within a club. And so almost all members serve the club in some way. Now, vocational service is what every Rotarian does in terms of connecting whatever kind of vocation people do. So typically in a lot of Rotary clubs, like we have lots of different types of vocations in our club. People that work at a hospital, and we'll go up and learn stuff about how hospital administrators work. We have a person in our club that has a car dealership, so we'd have a vocational night or trip over to his car dealership and learn stuff about that. So vocational service is really about servicing our work or our work people in vocations within Rotary. Community service is something that we all do, and when people ask me what is Rotary, I basically always say, well, we're just local community people trying to do good for our community. So it encourages every Rotarian to find ways to improve the quality of life for people in their communities and to serve the public interest. Youth service, Rotary is super strong in youth service, and it recognizes the importance of empowering youth and young professionals. We have a program that's called RYLA. It's Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. And it's basically leadership training for our youth that are typically high school. And we have several of these camps, or like RYLA camps, where you go for a weekend and learn about Rotary and leadership. And we have those actually all over the world, but we have several of them within our district. And then international service is basically serving global reach out and promoting peace and understanding. When Rotary took on polio back in the 80s, there was a huge international surge to serve Rotary out in the world battling polio. And in those 5 areas of focus, or 7 areas of focus Naomi was talking about, we spread out all throughout the entire planet to help with water and sanitation, economic development, mothers and children fighting disease, all those kinds of things. So lots of stuff to do in the world, and Rotarians are right there to do it. Okay, that's avenues of service. Now, Hawaii also has a youth foundation. So Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation was basically developed by Maurice Sully Sullivan when he was district governor back in 76, 77. You might recognize Mr. Sullivan's name. He was basically, or is basically, the founder of our Foodland Sack and Save a chain of stores. And so last year, each of the participating clubs awarded a $5,000 scholarship to a high school senior. And so the Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation gave out $270,000 in scholarships last year. So that is a super big thing, and every club has the opportunity to award a scholarship like that. So what's in it for you? The great thing about Rotary is that you have the flexibility to get whatever you want or need out of Rotary, because lots of opportunities and resources there in Rotary. So one of the first things that you'll know right away, and those of you who are in Rotary, is it's a membership organization. That means you get to choose the ways you want to be involved, both in the club and beyond that. And so this is our little Slido thing. You want to explain how this thing works, Naomi?
Sure, if you can, I hope you have your phone nearby. So if you can scan that QR code, it'll bring up this this app where you can participate in this poll. If you don't have your phone, you can go log in to slido.com and put in this code, and you'll get to this poll. So this poll is pretty cool because you type in your word. Why did you join Rotary? And so you may put friendship or networking, and it'll show your answers on the screen as you put them in. And the more people who choose that word, the bigger the word gets. So it's a word cloud. Okay, so I see 2 people participating, 4 people now. So community is what one person said the reason why they joined Rotary. Hey, Benson, why did you join Rotary?
Well, I joined Rotary originally because my sister told me to join Rotary, but once I got into Rotary, I really felt like Rotary would be a good place to do networking for my business. And it really was. I mean, it was awesome because most of the people that are in Rotary are they're business people, so it was really helpful for that. But then, as I stayed longer in Rotary and I got to develop relationships with people in Rotary, it was really about those relationships. I mean, I've always really kind of believed that you become whatever you're around the most, and the people at Rotary really, really solid folks. And so later on, we'll talk about your Rotary story, which is basically why you got into Rotary and why you're still in Rotary. And it's the people really that make me want to continue to stay in Rotary.
Yep.
How about
Okay, so
Nancy? Okay.
well, the most popular choice was community, Benson.
Yeah.
So w- we know that people are in the right place because we do a lot of things for our community here and abroad. So, Benson, I'm going to continue with building friendships.
Okay. Yeah, this kind of goes back to what I was just talking about. It's building lifelong friendships. That there's so many ways that you can get involved in Rotary. We're out there doing community service. We work on committees together, work on conferences. We kind of travel together. So lots of opportunity to really get great relationships going. And I will tell you, when I started, I thought, oh, it's gonna be really good for my business. But once you get into really connecting with the quality of the people that are in Rotary, and the positive influence they have on your life, um, business network seems kind of like a real Manini reason that you would want to join Rotary. It's really about the quality of the people. And then have a chance to really learn new skills, especially if you're if you're in the kind of vocation where maybe you don't have an opportunity to get much leadership development, don't have much opportunity to do public speaking, you don't really work around people that are interested in mentoring you or you mentoring other young people. Lots of opportunity to do it. Rotary has a learning center that you can go online, and there's literally hundreds of courses that you can take, like on your own. Every Rotarian has access to that, and you can pull up. If you went through and took a whole bunch of courses in there, it'd be equivalent to getting your own college degree through there. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Once you launch into leadership, then you get to go through and take a bunch of these different courses in there. And then there's, sustainable service, right? And sustainability really means, being able to keep something going for a long period of time. And so while lots of organizations are good at starting projects and getting them up on their feet, Rotary is a long-term group where they can get a project up, get it moving, and then sustain it for a long period of time. And it's because people have skills, they have networks, they have relationships, they have expertise, and everybody pitches in to get things done. And later, after we're done with the PowerPoint, we'll tell you some of the real life stories that are here in Hawaii, where Rotarians showed up and were able to do stuff a lot quicker and a lot more effectively than our own government, simply because we don't have a lot of that red tape to go through. Okay, and it certainly the benefits of volunteering are really great. Just doing good for other people. Obviously, there's the physical and mental health pieces of it. But a lot of it is really about finding your own purpose. You know, what I see in Rotary is the people that come to Rotary, they're sort of over themselves. I mean, they're past the point where their whole life is focused on what they're getting out of it, and they're ready to give back. And when we talk to new Rotarians, and you're going to hear some of them when we're done with this PowerPoint, they're going to say, well, you know, I felt like it was time to give back, you know, and I wanted to connect and get around other people that are in that same mindset. And then when you connect with that network of people just really expands, and it really helps you in every corner and every aspect of your life. I'm going to turn it over now to Naomi. So Naomi, go ahead.
Okay. So there are many things that you can join as a Rotarian, and there are fellowships. So fellowships are groups of people that are doing something that they like together. An action group. We have friendship exchanges where you can visit Rotarians in another country and exchange cultural information. You can go to any club in the world and go to their meeting, and you'll be welcome. You can go on a service project, youth exchange. We have every year, maybe 5 to 7 people, young students coming in or going out, or join an eradication program to give the drops of polio around the world. Okay, so many things that you can choose to help you do something that you like, to be with like-minded people. So the courses that Benson was talking about in the Learning Center, they're grouped by the topic. So you can have leadership skills. Toastmasters put together professional development seminars. So the webinar you go to is about public speaking or how to manage time. So a lot of information for you to get some information that you would like to have. So how do you enhance it? Through activities and opportunities. There's so much. So, you know, I talked about the fellowships. And so these are like-minded people, and it's recreational. So in Hawaii, we have these fellowships. The Wine Appreciation Fellowship is the most popular. So we're looking at people who love wine or just want to have fun with a focus on wine, or a gin fellowship, a beer fellowship, and there's the Flying Rotarian. So at the district, well, at the Rotary Convention, the Flying Rotarians might get together and get on a plane and fly around that area. So many fellowships that you can get involved with. So the fellowship is really helping people have that lasting friendship outside of their own club, the district. And let me show you what is available. Okay, this is the list on the Rotary International website. And when you click on the title, you get to their website. So for instance, if you want, I don't know what a metalhead, what is a metalhead? Metalhead? Is that music? Okay, so
I think so. Yeah. I think there are heavy metal music guys that go like this.
okay. So
Yeah.
only people who know that word would know what that's about. But here you can see that these groups are not necessarily Rotary subjects. It's for crafts, it could be hobbies, sports. And so it's just a way to connect with people who like what you like. And then we have the action groups. Action groups, and this is the website URL, so that if you want to know more about action groups, you can find out what is there. But action groups are people who get together to focus on an area of focus. So there are 27 action groups, 34 members. They do so many projects around the world. And this is what the action groups are centered around. So the 7 areas of peace, I'm sorry, 7 areas of focus, um, uh, on a specific topic. So fighting disease, it could be on blood donation or diabetes. So if you're interested in any of these subjects, areas of focus, you can join the action group. Now, Rotary International has conventions around the world, and normally they're in May or June. When we have this in Hawaii, I think we're looking at maybe 20,000. When we had this going in 2020, we had 22,000 people registered. And, when people register, they're bringing their family. And so that's a whole bunch of people coming to this one area that you're having that convention. So the convention in 2025 is in Calgary, 26 is Taipei, 2027 is Honolulu. So, hey, Benson, can you tell us a little bit more about the Calgary convention?
Yep, Calgary's coming up here in June, and every one of you, if you're not signed up to go, you have the opportunity to go, and I will help you to get that figured out. So basically, we're gonna have probably, my guess is maybe 30,000 Rotarians that'll come from all over the world, from our district, District 5,000. People are still signing up to go, and I'm thinking that we're gonna end up probably taking about 100 Rotarians from our district, and going to an international convention. It's just an amazing experience when you get to see and meet. I was at Singapore last year, an international convention, and I met people from Spain, Nigeria, Portugal, obviously, Singapore, Japan, Korea. I mean, it was crazy. And the great thing about it is, Rotarians they're really in this sort of set of mind where when you get together, I mean, people talk to each other, they share things that they're doing, and it's just a super great experience. And I would highly recommend, because Calgary is not that far away from Honolulu. You can actually even from the neighbor islands, you can get there. I can get from Hilo to Calgary all in one day, and then come all the way back in one day. So it's not like a 17-hour flight like it is to Melbourne or Singapore. So if you're interested in going, leave your name in the chat, or email me, and I'll be glad to help facilitate all of us, joining the group that's going to go. So if you have any questions, let me know. And then here's some websites. Our district website is rotaryd5000.org, and it's kind of a internal website. So if you're in Rotary, a lot of information for district Rotarians, and of course our international website is rotary.org. But if you're somebody who's just taking a look at Rotary and wants to get to know more about Rotary, we have a website that's called Rotary in Hawaii, right? Naomi, it's called rotaryinhawaii.org or .com?
.org.
.org. Okay, rotaryinhawaii.org. So if you just wanted to learn external stuff about Rotary, that's great. But lots of information that you can get. And if you're the kind of person that just wants to know everything, here it is, right here. Okay, and our motto, our mantra, the thing that we express all over the world is service above self. And like I was saying, this is why people come to Rotary, because they're sort of past the point where it's all about them and they're ready to give back to the community. So thanks for hanging in there on the PowerPoint. And so let's take any questions, or let's definitely hear from you guys. So any questions?
Yeah, Benson, I was just wondering, maybe I missed it. Was there any conversation about the district convention that you guys talked about?
I don't think we mentioned it in this slideshow, but we do have a district convention or a district conference this year, and it's on May 30th in Honolulu at the Ala Moana Hotel, and you can go on our district website and register still available for you guys to register to participate in it. And it's basically where Rotarians from all over our district come together, and we talk Rotarian. So I don't know, Naomi or Nancy, you want to add anything on to that?
Yeah, they've talked enough. I'll add.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, good. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, no problem. So when I joined Rotary here in Hawaii, I had been a member for a year or so in Washington State, but when I joined here, I had the opportunity. I was actually encouraged to go to the district conference. And what I discovered, and I haven't been to an international convention like a lot of these folks have, but what I learned going to the district conference was, one, about all of the clubs that are here in the state and in the district. And I learned, because the Rotary International brings some of their leadership and also others that are part of their peace fellowships and academics and all that to talk to us, we learned also what Rotary International was doing, but in a way that was a little maybe more intimate than maybe an international convention is. And so you had a real opportunity to connect with Rotarians from around the state, learn some of what their concerns were, the things that they were engaged in, and be able to bring that back to our own clubs. And so it wasn't, you didn't have to travel 17 hours to Singapore. You just had to travel 45 minutes to Honolulu to be able to connect. And it isn't always in Honolulu. This last year, right? We had it in Hilo. So I would highly encourage, if you have time and we have the space, I don't know where we are in terms of space, to take a look at the district conference. It's only really a day and a half-ish that out of your time, and there's a lot of stuff, not the least of which is the fellowship. Thanks, Benson.
Hey, thanks, Doug. And just to let you know, so Doug is in my club, South Hilo, and he was actually the president of the club when I joined. So Doug is a past club president. He also was our assistant governor in East Hawaii for at least 3 years. And we're going to get him back in the fold next year after Nancy's done. So
yeah, you
so
can all
thanks,
blame
Doug.
me for Benson, I know.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm here and it's Doug's fault. Okay, so let's hear from some of you guys. Dennis, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about what's your Rotary story, how you got in it, why you're still in it. Now you're the president-elect. What was your experience like in LA?
LA was kind of cool because when you first get there, there's 800 people. Everybody's there for Rotary. You don't know anybody, and you're kind of in your little shell. And what's absolutely amazing is within the first 24 hours, man, it becomes a family. You're walking around that hotel, and it doesn't matter who you run into in the elevator, the ballrooms. Hey, what's going on? And by the end of 2 or 3 days, it's like, you've known these guys your whole life, and you're all there for the same reason. And I just, I go to a lot of conferences. I've been over the years for a ton of different things. I've never quite seen anything like Pat's. It just blew my mind because of what Doug was saying a minute ago. I mean, it's like, you get to share people, what different people are doing in their clubs, and it's phenomenal. But I don't, what my Rotary story is honestly, my dad was in Kiwanis, and he was the president of the Salt Lake City Kiwanis Club when I was a kid. And I think I told you this is absolutely amazing. The international president of Kiwanis was a member of his club and was the president of International the same year my dad was president of the club. I mean, what are the odds of that? About 1 billion to 1. So I kind of got indoctrinated into the whole service thing. And then when I moved to Hawaii, I'd been in Kiwanis on the mainland when I was in the military. When I moved to Hawaii, Kiwanis is kind of non-existent here. Lions is really big and Rotary is really big. And about 1.5 years ago, this friend of mine grabbed me and he said, "You need to come to the Rotary Club." I'm going, that's the competition. I can't go in the Rotary Club. I'm a Kiwanian, you know, and anyway, love Rotary. It's the same thing, only bigger. And so I've been about, I guess, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And then we're doing some great things in our club. And one last thing, and I'll turn it over. We're doing this, we're co-sponsoring this thing called Journey to Peace, which is right along with what Rotary's doing, where we're looking back 80 years at World War II and trying to tie what was going on then and lessons learned today so we don't go down that same slippery slope. And we're actually having our 4th seminar at 1 o'clock today at the Pacific Air Museum, sponsored by our club and several other organizations, where we're bringing in retired ambassadors, senior military leaders, historians. We get together for about 2 hours, and the goal is to hit the youth, the Rotaract and the Interact and that kind of demographic. We're not quite there yet. Still a bunch of us old guys are there. I mean, we have some. We do bring our Interacts, but that's going to be huge, and it's going to keep going. So this is going to be a long-term peace project that we're going to keep sponsoring. That's it. Thanks.
Great story, Dennis. Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. Kathleen, how about you? I mean, what's your Rotary story? You've been in Rotary just a little while, just joined. Tell us a little bit about your impressions, what you saw today.
Well, thank you very much. And I enjoyed seeing how the different focus groups are broken down in the organization. I had not seen that before. As far as Rotary is concerned, I had an interesting first encounter with Rotary just recently. I came out of corporate America after 38 years serving as an occupational health and safety professional, a board certified safety professional. And just as I came out of corporate America after doing that for 38 years on August 1st of 2023, I was in a group. I'd always served in disaster preparedness type of situations, and I was deployed to Maui. And so in August 8th, so if coming out of corporate America, August 1st, August 8th, I was deployed to Maui and was serving over there. And guess what? In Lahaina, who I encountered was the Rotary. We would go basically outside of the hotel organizations. They're the ones who had the Star Satellite for fire and police, and everyone would stop by these little kiosks outside. The people, they were feeding the people in the hotels that could come down, and they could come down and use the satellite if we could get them out of the hotels, because unfortunately FEMA had told them if they receive services from other entities, they may not receive their FEMA services, or at least that was their interpretation. So, you know, our organizations ended up serving together, you know, during the Maui disaster. And so that was just, you know, kind of a sidebar, didn't really think about joining. And then I also, community-wise here in Hilo, had delved into full-time community service with our civil defense group, had been in the Huntington Beach, California community emergency response organization, involved with training and such there. And so delved into that, as well as other community service groups with children with autism called ASDC, outrigger canoeing for special needs people called the Wahana Vala Lima here in Hilo. And just many things, like we just had a Tim Tebow prom function for people with disabilities that pulled 200 people in from, you know, the island. And through those encounters, like in community, doing various things, including I had trained as a CPR first aid AED and trainer. And so as a result, got into helping the Hawaii Heart Health Foundation. Dr. Cha has just written a curriculum for the Department of Education to get everyone trained on island, you know, the children and such, for CPR, first aid, AED, emergency response. So I just trained keiki nurses in Waimea and in Hilo, and got involved with that. So there's just so much, you know, just so many things to do and so many ways to serve. And I just got into that. Well, lo and behold, I met the incoming through these activities, met the incoming president of the Hilo Bay organization, and he invited me to start attending meetings. So that was in October, and I began attending meetings in October and was just inducted in January. And Monday, I'm going to go out and do some training, like some literacy training, reading to the children in the schools. And then they've kind of signed me on to help with their Oktoberfest. But I just, when we want to get specific as far as like what your training and your gifting is, when you said there's a disaster response area and there's disaster response grants, and I'm kind of like, how do I team up with all island people to, have for the outreaches associated with those type of things where, I have specific training and, so help. So that's kind of interesting, as well as, I have environmental health and safety and community. So anyways, I'm just getting to meet people and, in our group, but it is kind of neat to know that there are targeted initiatives, for somebody who has a health education background, for somebody who has a safety education background, both for community and going forward. So that's exciting to me.
Thanks.
And so thank you very much for allowing me to share.
Sure. Thanks, Kathleen. I know some of you have to kind of jump now to another meeting, but if you can stay on, let's chat a little bit more. Shannon, would love to hear from you. I actually just zoomed on your QR code there and found out that you're a financial planner, so that's kind of cool. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what your impression is. Bye, Nancy, and bye, Naomi, and bye, Ronnie. So these guys all got to go.
How it going, guys?
Yeah.
I've been working in the financial industry for about 10 years now. I got in about when I was 19 years old. I was attending Heald College out here in Oahu, and their motto back in the day was get in, get out, get ahead. And 9 months before my graduation, my school had shut down. So I had no idea how to get ahead in life because my credit tanked. I had no idea how that worked. And so essentially that's part of my story for the most part. That's why I got this passion for finance and talking to folks in a language that I could understand. Um, in the spirit of the new year, I actually was telling one of the Rotarians the other day that my experience with Rotary, I wasn't seeked out. I didn't meet anyone out on the street. It was one of those rabbit holes at 2 a.m. And I was on Google and I was trying to look for networking groups near me and fundraising near me and volunteer groups near me, and Toastmasters had come up, and I saw the Rotary of Honolulu webpage and I clicked on it and I was like, oh my goodness, the last time I heard the word Rotarian was when I was in high school. So I had inquired about it, and my first ever service project event happened to be the Beer Fest. And they really locked me in, having that really fun event and having me play bartender for a few hours. And I got inducted like Kathleen back in January. So I'm fresh me and I'm excited to work with everyone this year.
Yeah, that is great. And so, the old way of bringing people into Rotary was, you invited them to lunch and they came down and they see if you like the club or whatever. But now more and more people are coming in into Rotary by participating in a service project or something like that, where you get to sort of just meet people, work with them, get to know them a little bit, which really helps, just in terms of feeling like you're connecting with the people that are in there. Oh, there's Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, so Nancy, so you can see Nancy in the picture there. Nancy and Vern are husband and wife, and Vern was past president of his club, and this year, or next year, Nancy's going to be president of the Rotary Club of Kona. So woohoo! Thanks, you guys. Family, they've got an interesting story. So Vern, I want you guys to just unmute real quick. Shannon, that was a great story. And tell them your story, because these guys like retired and came to Hawaii to just take a break and ended up in Rotary.
Yeah, thanks, Benson.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly it. I basically retired from the Army, active duty guard and civilian after 40 years in Missouri. And we decided to sell everything and move to Hawaii. At one point in time, it just worked out, and found a place here in Kona. But found, I knew about Rotary back in Missouri, but was never able to take the time to even investigate, because I was commuting and this and that, always on the road. So just so happened they had a newspaper ad for the district, and about clubs. And all of a sudden I saw that there was a breakfast club here in Kona. So we checked it out. And guess what? I was warmly welcomed. And the rest is history, I guess you could say. A year and a half later, I became president. And Nancy's following me in my footsteps. I I did follow. I tracked this one, Benson. I appreciate you doing this training. We hopefully have a new member coming. I kind of told him, hey, if you have time, take a look at this Zoom. So, but he didn't make it. But we'll touch base with him and maybe show some stuff out of this presentation to him.
Well, this thing's being recorded, so you can always go on the website
Okay, go ahead.
and go into the recordings. Yeah, go ahead, Nancy. You want to add anything to that?
I do. I'm a retired high school history teacher, and I'm just telling Vern goodbye because I'm heading up to West Hawaii Community Health or West Hawaii Community Civic Center to do some scholarship interviews for HYRF. So
Yeah.
that's where my heart is too. So
Yeah.
y'all have a good day. Hey, Dennis, nice to see you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Okay. And it's, it's great. Those of us who have been in, Rotary a while now, I mean, you discover people and make connections with people. I mean, I consider Doug over here one of my best friends now because, it's kind of like we're foxhole buddies together and been through a lot together. So it's great. So Deanne, I wanted to chat with you because you were in Rotary, then went out and then came back in. So
Yes.
how's that experience?
So I've actually been on Kauai for 30 years. I'm originally from Ventura, California.
Wow.
But I mean, mostly on Hawaii already, more than half my life.
Yeah.
And Kauai was great. I ended up going to Pets, but then unfortunately, when I got back from Pets, my club kind of dissolved. So Kalepa Sunrise was the name of that one. It's no longer anymore. So then at that time I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not my time, to do this. And I decided to just be done and raise my family. And then after that, I just decided, that was it always stuck with me in my heart because I knew these were the kind of people that I really resonated with and that I wanted to do. Sorry, I just got a call. So I got to say, can I call you later? And then I lost everybody now on my Zoom. Hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But then I basically got back in. Well, actually my kids, I'm sorry, I kind of lost track of what I was saying, but my kids are both grown up. One of them lives in Kailua now. I have 2 grandkids with her. And so I decided that, I may as well, why am I still in Kauai? I kind of felt like I was, just retired and not really doing much with my life anymore that I wanted to do. I wanted to do more. So I bought a condo in Kaka'ako and I decided to do my business here. I already have really good business back on Kauai still, but like I'm in the mortgage business. So basically all the realtors that I have referral partnerships with, they're still doing their thing and I still have them, but I just decided I wanted to build my business more. So now I'm into business development. So then that way it all kind of worked out for me in Oahu where I could be there. And I know I'm in Drakakni, so I don't know if you guys know him. He's been in there forever. So I actually sold him his condo in Kauai when I was a realtor. And I called him up and I said, hey, I'm moving to Oahu and I want to join Rotary again, and he goes, well, there's so many clubs here, and I want you in my club, but I don't want to be like that. I want to give you your option. So I said, okay, well, I can only go in the evenings because, I work during the day and, I think evenings would work out better and I'm in town. So something, in town. And so he said, oh, I got one Pauhana, which sounded fun to me. I'm like, oh, okay, good. After all my stressful day at work, I can go enjoy a glass of wine and the meeting. So then I joined that. Well, I went to one of the meetings and I really loved it. It was at the Waikiki Yacht Club, which I had a memory of the Waikiki Yacht Club, like I think it was like 20 years ago with a friend. He goes, "Oh yeah, let's go have a drink at the yacht club," so I go, "Oh, okay, what is this place?" So I went there and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this place is amazing." Like I loved the people. It was a relaxed atmosphere. It was on the beach, and I go, "Oh, I'll probably never be able to afford to be a club member anywhere," because this is when I was younger and I was, not really, I was a waitress at, the Prince Golf Course.
You got it. Yeah. Good.
So it just came, I mean, it's a lot. My stories, I have a great story. It was never that easy for me, but I've worked hard, I've served others, and God has taken care of me all these years. And so I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and I'm here to just serve. So I'm
Thanks.
excited. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to work with you, Shannon, too. I want to talk to you sometime soon because I actually want to do more networking stuff, and we're going to start. It's called Rotary Means Business, or
Right. Exactly.
so we're going to start that up again. I was talking to Marco in my club. He used to do that. So once we start doing that again, I think it'll I just need more people to help me collaborate this to put it together. So anyone that wants to be involved, let me know.
Yeah, Rotary Means Business is it's a really cool group that's really about business networking. And there are a lot of business networking groups out there, but Rotary has one of the best ones. So Jeet, you wanna give us an idea of what your story is, what your thoughts are, any questions before we head on out?
Um, yeah, I mean, I pretty much shared what brought me onto Rotary. I again, I'm still finding out as we go along. Yesterday, I went for my first project with a bunch of people distributing dictionaries in one of the
Oh,
schools.
yeah.
Yeah, which was very satisfying. Good way to start one's weekend. So yeah, I have volunteered to maybe help with the social media portion of our club.
Oh, good.
So once Josh, I guess, becomes officially the president, I've definitely bugged him enough to get me involved so I can be more engaged. Um, yeah, and I'm also volunteering for uh, the American Lung Association, which whose executive director is Pedro. He's one of our fellow Rotarians, so I'm looking forward to volunteering for that. And yeah, I'm still excited. I'm actually, when we were going through the website, I was trying to find out how to create my own account, and I was going to send you an email, Benson, later on, asking
Good.
if you could help with how to do that.
Okay. Okay, I'll put my I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat so that
Okay.
you guys can go ahead and connect with me if you have any questions. But you know what you're gonna find, and I'll kind of wrap this up. We're only supposed to go to 10, but I'll wrap this up, is that people in Rotary are amazing, and they're amazingly helpful. The cool thing is that everybody's has sort of the same objective, the same direction. We just really want to do good for the community. We want to network with each other. We want to have close relationships with each other so that we can go forward and do this together. And if you have had a chance like me and Doug and Vern to go into the leadership of Rotary, it gets even more amazing because you then start connecting with people all over the state and then pretty much all over the nation. And now, at district governor level, you're connecting with people all over the world. So it's kind of a cool thing. So I thank you guys for taking the pretty big chunk of your morning to hang out with us. Thank Vern and Doug, you guys who've been around a while just to come on and add your experience and flavor onto this thing. And it really does help give everybody who's been here just for the first time some perspective on it. We do this typically every first Saturday of every month at 9 a.m. on Zoom. I send an email out to everybody a couple days before. So you're welcome to join it as many times as you want. Bring your friends, your parents. I mean, people who just want to check it out to make sure it's not a cult or anything. So you guys can come on and do it. So if there's no questions, I appreciate it. Let me put my my email in the chat real quick. What is my email? Okay. All right, I gotcha. Rotary5000.org. Okay, .com. All right. So otherwise, thanks a lot. I'm like I said, I'm putting my thing. I don't type that fast, so I'm putting it in there right now. So please feel free to email me and let me know what's kind of going on here. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you
Nice meeting
guys soon.
Aloha.
Okay.
Hey, Vern, we need to talk. We probably know each other from the past life.
Okay, probably we bumped into somewhere, probably in an airport somewhere, I bet.
Probably in Missouri, but anyway. All right. See you
All right.
guys. Have a
Okay,
good
guys.
week, everybody.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
See you later.